Hiya, welcome back again everybody. Back again today on the Triumph Adventurer 900, and last week we sorted out the gearbox problem with the gear shaft. This time I'm going to have a look at a few things. First of all, I'm looking at the rear shock. He wants it stiffening up a little bit, so I'm going to adjust it up, but rather than do it on the bike because it's difficult to get in there even with the motor bit stripped off, there's a bolt about here holding the top shock mount in, and the bottom I've already got loosened off last week from when I was doing the sump. So if I can get that bolt out, I'm going to drop the shock out the bottom of the bike straight out. Now to do that, I have to get this side casing off first, so to try and get at that bolt. So I'll see what happens. I'm going to take this off, side cover. Probably got to take the other side off as well. That's it. Looks like there's a rubber missing off there, I'm not sure. Hello. One side. Right, it doesn't help a lot, but maybe this filter box has got to come off next. Now there's two bolts holding this in place, the key switch. So let's see what happens when I loosen those off. They're not very tight either. Switch free there. I think that's just to loosen the seat off this lock. Right, now does the box come out? Right, another Allen bolt here. Seems like something's not quite right there. These are slack, and if you tighten them up, it looks like it's going to pull everything. We'll have to take this side cover off here as well. It looks like it's the air filter box, and there's a pipe going in with something like a Jubilee clip around the pipe holding it on. Nice to see these pieces are metal rather than just, same with that, metal rather than just plastic. Yeah, it seems all loose apart from these Jubilee clips. I'll try loosen one off and see if it will slide off. Well, I take it the air filter's inside of this box. Some cables there just to prevent it from coming off. There's two clips on the pipe. I'll try to take them both off, see if it will help a little bit, give us a little bit of room to wriggle it out. Right, that's it. Now then, yeah, we can get at the bolt this side. Probably have to do the same on the other side to get to the nut, which is on here. The nut's on the other side. So I'll have a go try and get the other side off and see how we get on. So I've took the side panel off the other side, and to get to the bolt there's the ECU over there, and all I had to do was prise it off the rubbers that were supporting it, and I've gotten a spanner in and I've managed to loosen off the nut, so that's ready to come out. I've still got the bike supported. There's a large ratchet strap, but like we used to hold the car down under a trailer, and it's holding the bike, the weight of the bike. So I'm just pulling this bolt out here, and then there it goes, there's the shocker dropping down. Now I've taken off centre bolt as well earlier on when I was trying to get the access to the sump, so if I just take this bolt out it should all come apart, and hopefully the shock's going to have enough clearance to come right the way down. Because while I've got all this apart, I can grease these up as well to make sure they keep nice and free. Alright, that's it. So it's all off. So what I'll do now is, with these adjusters, I'll take them right down to the bottom, just using these C-spanners to loosen them off, the adjustable C-spanners which I got. So I'll just go and do that, and then we'll think about getting it back in place. Right, so I've adjusted these two right the way down. There wasn't a lot to adjust on it, but you may be able to see they're right down to the very bottom, so that's as far as we can take it. So I'll try and get this back in here. Now the bolt. It's a top bolt, and what I'm going to do with all of the bolts is use some copper slip and just grease them all up, so that if it ever wants to come apart again, it's not going to have a lot of bother. So I'll just paint them a copper slip. Just a thin coating. They seem to have been alright, but you never know. As years go by, they get rusted. Worst thing trying to fight with seized on bolts, especially if they're in inaccessible places. Not so bad if you can get the grinder in and just cut them off, but when they're hidden away like in here, it can be quite difficult. So try and get that into place and then get the bolts in. Right, so the short bolt goes in there. And down the bottom, see down here, it's this linkage, so these bolts is longer than the other, so I think it's that one, the longer one. I think they came through from the other way, not that it matters much, but I'll try and keep them the same. Just been checking the bearings on the pivots here, they seem well greased, so that's good. Not seized up. Now, this one might prove to be a bit more difficult. Even though the weight's off, there'll still be a little bit of pressure maybe to try and get it lined up. So if I can line it up from this side and get the bolt on the back, that's the idea. I'll move this stand out of the way. Right, I'm having a bit bother trying to get this one in, because I think it's with us adjusting the suspension, it wouldn't line up, so I've had to jack the bike up a little bit, lift the bike up, and it seems to have freed it off, so it should come, yeah, it's coming through there now, champion. So we'll get these nuts on here. There's two for down here, and there's the one up the top. I'll just tighten them up and then I'll get it boxed up again. So not too bad of a job. So I must apologise for not getting many videos out recently. I did mention before I used to be a lecturer, then a teacher for years, I think 33 years in total, and I just took early retirement and started work for myself. So I'm doing a little bit on bikes to fill my time in, but I'm trying to set up a business. By trade I'm an electrician. That's where I started at when I left school. But I've always tried to keep me electrical certificates up to date, but recently I had to do me 18th edition for the wiring regulations for house wiring, and I'm in the process of trying to set up a company. So just I don't want to go overboard, but just a bit of part-time work would do nicely to subsidise messing about with my bikes. And another thing I've been doing for the electrical side is I've been doing a course for electrical vehicles for the charging points. So I'm a qualified electric vehicle charge fitter now. The only trouble is when you do that, you've got to, if you want to go for there's the grant scheme at the minute, and if you want to be approved so you can fit them for when the showrooms are selling the brand new cars, you've got to be registered with the government. And so I'm getting everything else done, registering with that, then I get an email. Could take up to 30 working days. That's 6 weeks. And do you think, well, it's a long time when you're in business to wait 6 weeks before you can start doing any work. Let's hope that's a maximum and not the norm. Right, that's into place. So I've now got to just tighten up the top bolt, and I'll box it back up again. So that's that little job finished. I noticed the key lock bolts, I said it didn't look right. I was looking at it's on the airbox of bolts too, and you can see there's parts of the box being shattered away, so someone's had problems with it in the past, but I'll try to put a bit of pipe or something on it to keep it stepped away, so at least we can nip the bolts up tight. Right, so I'm going to finish this off. Well, I've got the back shock back in place, and it's all bolted up nice and tight. Exhausts and everything are on, so I think I'm going to call it a night, and next job I think is going to be looking at the front forks, and we'll get the new seals on them. So in the meantime, till I see you then, take care and stay safe.